So today on the agenda is to recreate an old illustration that I did. I put out a poll of like 3 different illustrations that I did a few years ago and asked you which one I should recreate. And this is the one that won and the one that we will be recreating. And I just wanted to take you through my process of doing that. So this piece was actually created because I was trying to, sorry I'm looking over here, I'm just looking at it. I was trying to show what imposter syndrome kind of feels like to me. Maybe it's not imposter syndrome. What I'd written at the time was, this is me when I'm down and being a hindrance to myself. I think imposter syndrome is something that comes part and parcel of being an artist, but it's something that sometimes gets so bad that I can't see any good in the things that I make. Even with this piece, I'm now mentally picking it apart and noticing all the things that are wrong with it. So I was trying to draw that feeling, that person, that version of me that's like telling me that I'm not doing things right or the stuff that I'm doing isn't worth doing, as like a little little angry version of me. The creatures around it, they're very much like a type of drawing that I did when I was first kind of starting an illustration, and they've kind of constantly found their way back. These like weird little formless blobby creatures that have these little patterns all over them. They felt like the first thing that I could really like attach as mine, even though I know they're not really that original. I'm sure someone else has done a similar thing, but they felt very much like my signature, my thing that I like to do. So I wanted to draw them here because it felt like they were kind of comforting me in a way and trying to like make me feel better. It's kind of just like a picture that is about being an artist and not thinking that what you're doing is good enough, but then trying to add an element of like support from your creative self, who is like, keep creating, keep going, because everything you're doing is fine and it's good. And that is kind of how I feel about it. I think we'll never feel quite happy with what we do, and we'll always strive for more because that is what being a creative is. But the most important thing is to just keep going and keep enjoying what you're doing. So yeah, we're going to try and recreate this. I really like the way this piece looks, so it's a little bit difficult because I feel like I might not be able to I'm doing it now. No way. Right, I'm gonna do it and it's gonna be amazing. I can't wait to do it. I'll take you guys along with me. Okay. So what I'm doing here is basically in some very small squares trying to rough out possible composition. I find composition one of the hardest things and I'm still trying to figure it out, but I find the smaller you work, the easier it is. It kind of takes away a lot of like the detail, obviously, so you can cover large areas a lot easier, if that makes sense. So I didn't really want this piece to have the exact same composition because I wasn't completely happy with like how it was originally. I thought it was like a little bit flat and maybe a bit boring, so I was just trying different ways the characters could interact with me and different kind of vanishing points, different perspectives and things like that. So yeah, if you're trying to do composition, I would start small. So here are some of the thumbnails. I really like this one. I feel like it's like I've kind of collapsed and then they've all come rushing in. But then I started drawing them as like these small little guys and I think it's so much cuter. So I might try and kind of combine this one with this one, but we'll see. So it if you're noticing how the canvas keeps skewing and morphing and stuff, it's because I'm using the liquify tool, which is maybe one of my biggest tips that I can give anyone. I find it so helpful when I'm still sketching and trying to get proportions right, to just use the liquify tool to maybe like expand certain areas or just pull certain bits. It's just like the most helpful thing. It's also really important to flip your canvas when you do that, because often we get used to seeing a drawing in one way, and then when you flip it you notice that there's some things that are like really wrong with it. So this is where I have got to. This is also like maybe my least favourite part of drawing because I don't have a really set way of rendering things, so I'm never quite sure how I'm gonna do things. I guess it's kind of fun, but also a little bit daunting, but we'll see. And this is the finished piece. I'll put them up side by side now. It was so much fun to revisit this piece, as it is an old favourite of mine and I've always really loved it. So it was somewhat daunting trying to reimagine it, but also very exciting. I really love how it's come out. I love the characters being these cute small little bears now instead of these big kind of ghostly figures, and it's just really exciting seeing how my like style's changed and also how my confidence has changed. I think the illustration now feels a lot more certain in a way than my other one. My other one still felt quite, I don't know, it feels like in a way you can feel the uncertainty in my strokes. It was a lot of fun. I would recommend doing this to anyone because it's just really exciting to kind of have your parameters already set, but then out of it comes this understanding of how far you've come and how you've changed quite a lot, and I think that's really valuable. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if there is any other pieces of mine that you like that I did a few years ago that you kind of want to see in this new reimagined style, then let me know in the comments. Sorry, I still feel weird doing the whole like YouTuber spiel, but guys, like, subscribe, leave a comment, maybe save this video to a playlist. Even Patches staring at me now. But yes, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was interesting. I hope you maybe learned something, and most importantly, I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.